Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Emre. I am a software engineer. Today, I want to share a super simple but incredibly powerful method that can seriously speed up your learning to Feynman Technique. Let me start with a question. Have you ever studied for hours, watched videos, taken notes, and then when someone said, "So explain it to me," you completely froze? If that sounds familiar, this video is definitely for you. The Feynman technique is built on one simple idea. If you can't explain something simply, you don't really understand it. And today I'm going to walk you through the logic behind the Feynman technique, its four main steps, and how you can use it in your everyday life in a very simple and practical way. Let's dive in. Part 1. What is the Feynman technique? The core idea of the Feynman technique is this: take a topic and explain it as if you are teaching it to someone who knows absolutely nothing about it. When you try to that, two things became very clear. The part you totally understand, the parts you only memorize but don't really get. So this technique is both a learning tool and a diagnostic tool to test your understanding. In this video, I will explain the Feynman technique in 4 steps using a simple practical example so it sticks in your mind. Our example topic will be how to work with focus using the Pomodoro technique. It's close to our daily life and easy to relate to. Part 2, Step 1. Choose your topic and write it at top. So step 1 is extremely simple. Take a blank sheet of paper. At the very top, write the name of topic you want to understand. In our case, the top of the page says Focus Work with Pomodoro Technique. The goal here is to tell your brain this is the thing I'm trying to understand right now. So anchor your learning around a clear, specific topic, not something vague. Part 3, Step 2, explain it as if you are teaching a beginner. Now we get to the most important step. In the step, you do this. You explain the topic as if you are teaching it to a friend who has zero background knowledge. Use simple words, short sentences, everyday language. For our Pomodoro example, you might write something like Pomodoro is method that makes it easier to work by breaking your time into small chunkings. You focus on one task for 25 minutes, then you take a 5-minute break. The 25 minutes block is called one Pomodoro. After 4 Pomodoros, you take a longer break like 15-20 minutes. Then you can add a simple scenario. Let's say you are studying for an exam, you put your phone in another room, set a 25-minute timer, and for the whole time you only work on math. When the timer rings, you take a 5-minute break, walk around, drink some water, and then start another 25-minute focus session. Here's what you are aiming for: a clear definition, a simple example, something connection to real life. At this point, ask yourself, if I handed this explanation to a complete beginner, would they know what to do? If the answer is yes, you are on the right track. Part 4, Step 3. Spot the gaps and go back to the source. Here's where the magic happens. While you're writing your explanation, you eventually hit some friction. Question like, why exactly 25 minutes? Why not 30? Does this work for everyone? Is there really science behind this? Anywhere you start thinking, I'm not sure here, or let's just skip this part. That's your signal you just found a gap in your understanding. That's when the Feynman technique tells you, go back, check your source, change the part. So you go back to your notes, read an article, watch a video, look up research if needed, and you focus specifically on part where you got stuck. Maybe you find out that 25 minutes is not a magical number, it's just practical suggestion based on average focus spans. Some people might prefer 20 or 40 minutes. Now you can update your explanation. The 25 minutes rule isn't strict law, it's just a recommended starting point. Some people focus better with shorter or longer blocks, and then it's okay. That gaps is now filled. Part 5, Step 4. Simply and further explain it to the child. In the final step, you ask yourself, will a 10 years old understand this? And if you imagine a serious kid, that's probably ask, why do we do it this way? Why do we keep taking breaks? Can't just work straight thought. So now you need to answer the why in very simple terms. For our Pomodoro example, you might say, because our brain gets tired and when we try to focus for a long time. Short focus blocks with small breaks let your brain rest and recharge. That way you get more done without feeling completely exhausted. Then you can add a simple analog. Think of it like running. Instead of running non-stop for 2 hours, you don't short sprint and then walk for a bit. Pomodoro is like sprint training but for your brain. In this step, you are removing unnecessary jargon, cutting out complicated sentences, making sure you can explain not just what happens, but why it worked. If you can't do that, you don't just know the topic, you thoroughly understand it. Part 6, Wrap Up. How to start using it today. Let's quickly reset the 4 steps of the Feynman Technique. 1. Choose a topic and write it at the top of a blank page. Anything you want to learn, Pomodoro Technique, how interesting rates work, basic of machine learning. 2. Explain it as if you are teaching a complete beginner. Use simple language, short sentences, real life examples. 3. Find the parts where you get stuck and go back to the source. Those are your weak spots, strengthen them. 4. Simply your explanation even further and answer the why question. Pretend you are talking to a circus child who keeps asking why. Now, here's my challenge for you. After this video, grab a sheet of paper, write down on topic you've been trying to learn, and actually one thought test 4 steps. If you want, you can share your topic in the comments below. And love to see what you are working on and it might inspire others too. If you found in this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe to channel and turn off notification so you don't miss future videos about learning, productivity and personal growth. Thanks for watching video and I will see you in the next one.
Thank you, thanks, thank you, thanks.